Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Thapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagada Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagada Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. Chapter 2, Contents of Gita summarized. We have done till verse 28, and we are going to do the next two verses in which this particular section on the soul and body will be concluded by Krishna and discussion with Arjuna. So, anyone has any question, please? Madhuri, you had a question? You are muted.
Like God is explaining, Lord Krishna is explaining so much about the soul,
Yeah.
but like nobody even can see it. So then how can people destroy it?
So, the
Anybody?
first and foremost example is that the whole consciousness in the body is because of a spark.
So,
A spark is soul. Yeah.
yeah.
So when somebody passes away, what we say that he passed away, but what is passed away? That spark has
Soul.
passed away. That
Yeah.
spark is called the soul. And why it is called soul? Because the Paramatma is the super soul. So
Mm.
Atma is the part of Param Atma.
Yeah.
So it is a part and parcel of Paramatma. That is why it is soul. Now we had a lot of discussion on this that why do we want to remain happy? Because Paramatma, the super soul, its attribute is what? That it always wants to remain happy. Anandamayo bhyasyat. So that's why our nature is also we want to remain happy all the time, and we try to find the happiness at various places. We go to movie, we try to find the happiness. We go to pub, find the happiness. We go to friends, we find the happiness. But that happiness is not permanent. Now we are in the process of finding that permanent happiness. And where will that be? So we know that now, by now, that the happiness will be only when we go back to Godhead, which is uh, Krishna's abode. That is the only place that we have to go and find out. Yeah, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
so
you.
that's what we discussed last week. It is you cannot perceive it. You cannot because it's inconceivable. The soul is inconceivable, achintya.
Mm.
That's why we cannot see it.
Mm.
We can only
Feel,
uh,
feel the
in
presence.
Hindi we can say that हम उसको महसूस कर सकते हैं लेकिन उसको देख नहीं सकते.
Mm.
We can only perceive it with thought, with expressions, with the behavior. We can see that yes, it is. So now the body is dead and body is alive. So the difference is the dead body and the alive body. The difference is that the living body has the consciousness, and that consciousness is the soul, right? It is because of soul. Did that answer your question
Thank you.
completely?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Any
Correction.
other? Okay. Hope everyone has the book in hand now. I have been asking for everyone to have Bhagavad Gita in their hands. Can I see everyone to please show me the book? Yeah. Those who don't have, they have to pay $50. I'll pay my pay ID is my uh, mobile number. So before the end of today, please pay it. No, I'm kidding, but please make sure that you have the book in your hand because along with book, we have Prabhupada with us. Always remember that. And you will find the difference when you have book in hand. When you read it, you can't be always on the media to read. Okay, we'll do the verse 29 now. Ascharyavat pashikashchitenam
आश्चर्यवत्पश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवद्वदति तथैव चान्यः
आश्चर्यवत्तथैव चान्यः
चान्यः
आश्चर्यवच्चन्नैनं शृणोति
आश्चर्यवत्तैनं शृणोति
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
श्रुत्वाप्येनं
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद
वेद
न
न
चैव कश्चित्
आश्चर्यवत्पश्यचिति कश्चिदेनम्
कश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवद्वदति तथैव चान्यः
आश्चर्यवद्वदति तथैव चान्यम्
आश्चर्यवच्चैनम्य शृणोति
आश्चर्यवन्यः शृणोति
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
Full shloka in one go. Ascharyavat pashyatati kaschidенam Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah Ascharyavatchainam anyat shunoti Shrutvapi enam vedana chaiva kaschet.
आश्चर्यवद्यति कश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवद्वदति
वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनम्
Attentionally,
श्रुत्वा विज्ञानं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
Please practice yourself later, word to word. Ascharyavat, as amazing.
Ascharyavat as
as
amazing.
amazing.
Pashyati, sees.
Pashti sees.
Sees.
Kaschit, someone.
Kaschit
Custom.
someone.
Enam, this soul.
Enam
This
soul.
soul.
Ascharyavat, as amazing.
Acharyavat
As
as
amazing.
amazing.
Vadati, speaks of.
Vadati speaks of.
Tatha, does.
Tatha
Tatha
Eva, certainly.
eva
certainly.
Cha, also.
cha
Also.
Also.
Anya, another.
anya
Another.
another.
Ascharyavat, similarly amazing.
Ascharyavat.
Acharyavat similarly amazing.
Cha, also.
Cha
Also
Enam, this soul.
Enam
this
this soul.
soul.
Anya, another.
Anyah another.
Another.
Shrunoti, hears of.
Shrunoti
Hears
hears
of.
of.
Shrutva, having heard.
Shrutva
Having
having
heard.
heard.
Api, even.
Api even.
Enam, this soul.
Enam
Enam
this
This
soul.
soul.
Veda, knows.
Veda.
Veda
Knows.
Na, never.
Na.
never.
Cha, and.
Cha.
And
And.
Eva, certainly.
eva
Certainly.
Kaschit, someone.
Kaschit someone.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all and go on asking question, what is the soul? That was not the part of translation, but I just said because even after studying so many times, we still get to forget that because the reason we don't go back and read, we need to go back, read, listen to the classes, recording. That's why I'm recording the classes. So please listen to them. If you don't like my voice, listen to somebody else's class. I listen to my own classes, how I have delivered it. Yeah, it is important for me in order to rectify myself because I might say something which may not be correct. So I repeat the translation. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. So it's quite a only one pager, purport. So I will read this. Since Gita Upanishad is largely based on the principles of the Upanishads, it is not surprising to also find this passage in the Katha Upanishad. Shravanyapadi bahubhir yona labhya षड्वान्तोऽपि बहवो यं न विद्यः आश्चर्यो वक्ता कुशलोस्य लब्धा आश्चर्यस्वज्ञता कुल कुशल कुशलानुशिष्टाः. The fact that the atomic soul is within the body of a gigantic animal, in the body of a gigantic banyan tree, and also in the microbic germs, billions and billions of which occupy only an inch of space. It's certainly very amazing. Men with a poor fund of knowledge and men who are not austere cannot understand the wonders of the individual atomic spark of spirit, even though it is explained by the greatest authority of knowledge, who imparted lessons even to Brahma the first living being in the universe. Owing to a gross material conception of thing, most men in this age cannot imagine how such a small particle can become both so great and so small. So men look at the soul proper as wonderful either by constitution or by description. Illusioned by the material energy, people are so engrossed in subject matters for sense gratification that they have very little time to understand the question of self-understanding. Even though it is a fact that without this self-understanding, all activities result in ultimate defeat in the struggle for existence. Perhaps they have no idea that one must think of the soul and thus make a solution to the material miseries. Some people who are inclined to hear about the soul may be attending lectures in good association, but sometimes, owing to ignorance, they are misguided by acceptance of the supersoul and the atomic soul as one without a distinction of magnitude. So it is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the supersoul, the atomic soul, their respective functions and relationships, and all other major and minor details. And it is still more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from knowledge of the soul and who is able to describe the position of the soul in different aspects. But if somehow or other one is able to understand the subject matter of the soul, then one's life is successful. The easiest process for understanding the subject matter of self, however, is to accept the statements of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by the greatest authority, Lord Krishna, without being deviated by other theories. But it also requires a great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in the previous ones, before one is able to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna can, however, be known as such by the causeless mercy of the pure devotee and by no other way. So if you go and reread here, the atomic soul as one without a distinction of magnitude. That means we talked about the ocean water, a bucket of water, and a spoonful of water or a drop of water. The magnitude, the quality. So what is common in that? The qualities are same. But what is difference? Ocean is as equal to a drop of water, right? No. How can we say yes? An
Like if the
ocean
qualities are
is
same, yeah.
magnitude is far, 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 far bigger than a drop of water from the same ocean. But what is the difference? The difference is that it is very, very high as far as the quantity is concerned. Yeah, the volume is concerned. So it's very big. But the quality is same. It is same salty water, isn't it?
Mm.
So we have also discussed in 2.28 what we discussed, that how death is inevitable. So one should do one's duty, and Krishna concludes the discussion of soul in this verse and in next verse as well. So the verse which we are Ascharyavat. So here, see, it is repeated 3 times in first 3 lines, and it talks about progressive level of understanding. So some people see the soul as amazing. Some people talk about the soul as amazing. Some people hear about the soul as amazing. And some people hear and still don't understand that it is so amazing. Isn't it? Some people see the soul as amazing. Therefore, if we enlightened vision, if we see, our vision will be enlightened. if we see it this way, to see the soul as amazing, size of 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair, but can animate from giant whale to huge trees to elephants and the small similar kind of soul and the worm in the stool. All have jiva, and every soul has a size is 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. So very tiny, microscopic germs. Huge person and a small person have similar soul. It is neutral object. It does not get uh, what you call does not get affected because of bodily qualities or association or anything. But it does carry the mind, intelligence, and false ego when it goes to the next body. So we see a very aggressive person and on the other hand, a very gentle person. And for both of them, the soul is similar. Although soul is individual, but same kind of thing. So all souls are Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa means they are all Sat, Chit, and Ananda. They are pure. They are Chit means they are always, they never die, and they are always happy. Ananda Swarupa. But their inclination is so different. So this is different. So amazing. So in whatever body it goes and whatever association and the kind of qualities that it develops for that particular body, depending on the karmas that you have done in the earlier life or earlier lives, I would say, then it will develop those kind of qualities and you will get the birth in that particular family, those kind of family. So soul's nature is such Chit Ananda. So we try different things. It become happy, but soul by nature is only happy. And it has to be realized. If we realize this joyfulness will automatically come, this is amazing. So ultimately, everyone who understood, who did not understand, or who has seen it, what the effect of the soul, that oh, it is so amazing. It is so amazing. So when spiritual vision is awakened, then we can see soul directly. Just as we are seeing each other, we will be able to see the soul, those who are at that level. They see how eternal, who is part and parcel of Krishna, comes in illusion, and such a soul can become a ruthless terrorist who has no consciousness while running up thousands of people. How can such perversion happen? You can see the terrorist militants, they also have a soul, similar soul, but they are ruining up thousands of people. So that is the amazingness of the soul, that whichever body it goes, it starts functioning based on the karma that they have done. So at one level is perception, which can be spiritual perception of intellectual understanding. Ascharyavad vadati tathaiva chanyah. Some people who understand, they speak about it. Oh, soul is so amazing. And speak about soul in amazement. Ascharyavat chanayama anyah shidoti. And Shrutvapi enam vedana chaiva kaschit. Hear about soul in amazement. After hearing, they ask, oh, I don't know that. I was thinking I am temporary, but I'll be going to die. But now I understand that I am eternal. It is so amazing. Though my body is dying, but I am not dying. So in this way, there are some other people who are saying how this is possible. When the body feels pain, I feel pain, When the body feels hungry, I feel hungry. When body dies, I die. So they just can't digest the concept of soul. They can't understand that there is something beyond the soul. So once one devotee was giving a class in some country where there is no concept about the soul. So he said, "You are not your body." Then someone asked question, "Sir, then whose body am I?" So that means the person is so much locked in bodily conception that I am my body. So sometimes people just can't come out of the bodily conception. So when Prabhupada said that you are not your body, whose body am I then? It gets confusing because you have not spent enough time to understand the concept that the body has two bodies, a gross body and a subtle body. The subtle body consists of the soul, the mind, intelligence, false ego. That is subtle body. And the gross body is all flesh and bones, blood and all those things. Right? So that is all matter. And with this matter, we think that, oh, this is what I am, all about me. The concept of me is all about the bodily understanding of us or me or I, for that matter. So even so, I read somewhere, when Srila Prabhupada was preaching in America, he said, "I am not my body." So many people thought that, uh, they, I mean, Swamiji is speaking, he is not his body, but we are our own body because he is a special person, so he is not his body, but we are our own bodies. Because he is giving all the lectures, etc. So they thought that Swamiji is not his body. He is a special person. But we are our body. Until the time they also understood and went to the level of understanding what the soul is and who am I, all those things. So it is the question of how you elevate yourself by reading the Shastra, understanding it, and then going to the level of understanding what the soul is all about, what the body is all about. When we say, I mean, they are very elevated soul. What does it mean by elevated soul? Upar baithe hai, niche baithe hai, like that. So elevated soul means that he has the understanding, he has done the austerities, he has done a lot of penances, either in this lifetime or the other lifetime. And that is the reason they have a higher vision. And they are beyond the conception of bodily understanding of the nature of the world. So people can blunder without this knowledge. So it is very important that everyone should understand this knowledge and how this knowledge can come to people. They need to go and understand this knowledge from the spiritual classes. And we ourselves should ask people to come and join us. This is something, which is that knowledge which will not be available in any of the universities in the world. Whether you go to IIMs, IITs, or Harvard, or British School, or wherever you want to go, London School of Economics, you will get the qualification and the degree by which you should be able to earn a lot of money, but you will still not be able to understand this spiritual knowledge. That is why it is so important to understand this knowledge. So, Ashcharya Bhatta can be applied to the soul. So, that is the way we were analyzing it. But Ashcharyavat can also apply to people, those who are the seers or the speakers, or those who are the hearers, or those who are deluded, who can't comprehend it at all. So, if we apply that way, then what happens to that means some amazing people see the souls. So actually speaking, you have to get directly spiritual perception. Extraordinary people or extraordinary, understanding that we come about of the soul is amazing. So amazing people see the soul, and those are exalted, advanced spiritualists. Their spiritual vision is awakened, and they are at the stage of where they should be able to see the spiritual understanding and spiritual existence of others as well. Because that's how they can see through the people. When His Holiness Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj went to see Srila Prabhupada the first time because he was in search of a guru. And when he went to see Prabhupada, and that time at his Srila Prabhupada's secretary was Bali Mridanga, and he requested, because he was secretary to Prabhupada, so Gauragovind Maharaj, requested whom Bali Mridanga, can I see Prabhupada? So he said, look, Prabhupada, I don't know whether he just had the breakfast, so let me go and check. So Prabhupada, he went to Prabhupada and asked him whether a devotee wants to come and see you. He has come from Odisha. He was an Odisha devotee. So he has come to see you. Prabhupada thought for some time and said, yes, send him. And the moment he went inside and that they spoke, Prabhupada used to see through a person and could know that what is the level of that person. You could see through. It is like X-ray machine. He could see through a person and see what is his consciousness level or understanding Krishna consciousness. What is the depth of his devotion would be if I accept him as my disciple. The first question that Gaur Govinda Maharaj asked Prabhupada was, can you give me sannyasa? He just asked straight away the same. First question is, can you give me sannyas? Because he left his family after having living a family life for 47 years. And he left everything and then he came. He had 7 children. So then he left the family and then he came because he wanted to take the sannyasa. Prabhupada said, yes, I will give you sannyas. And then he gave him the first initiation after a few months or so. And then he was under Prabhupada, and then he said, you have to start because his Hindi was good as well, he being an Odia. So he said, you translate my book Back to Godhead in Hindi. So that is the work, the first service that he was given. And he was doing all that, So initially he gave just 2 paragraphs to translate, and later on he gave him more because he wanted to taste whether the devotee is capable of doing it, he's doing the right work or not. Okay. So the consciousness of the person has a few stages that we talk about now. So what are those stages? The first one is Jagrati. Please note it down. Jagrati, then Swapna, then comes Shushupti, and then comes Samadhi. So now I'll explain you what these stages are. Jagrati is when we are awake. Right now we all are awake. So this is Jagrati stage. When we go off to sleep, then a stage comes when we start seeing the Swapna, the dreams, stage of dreams. Then we go into a stage of Shushupti. That is a deep, dreamless sleep. But that happens only to the people, those who are elevated. Dreamless sleep. Have you ever had dreamless sleep? Any of us? At least I never had. Yeah. And the fourth stage is samadhi. Samadhi stage, when you absolutely you can perceive the spiritual reality during that stage. And that is called the samadhi stage. So Jagrati, Swapna, Sushupti, and Samadhi. These are the four stages of consciousness. So then, the second thing comes is the amazing people speak about the soul. So, actually speaking, there is Atma Jnana, the knowledge about the soul. That is so rare, and the people who talk about the spiritual conception like uh, you are not this body, you are the spirit soul, and who have to do so, and those who people are amazing. Who can they speak on such things? Because they are very special, so they may not be pure devotees. They may be entirely realized spiritualists, but if we consider the number of people who are actually sharing wisdom of Krishna consciousness, they are repeating the words of the spiritual masters, honestly. I have still not realized all those. I am just repeating the word, and by repetition, what happens is I also get that realization every time I repeat that. So it is a good practice that when we distribute the knowledge, it is good for us to also internalize that knowledge, understand, completely go into that stage where we can again understand this knowledge completely. So, various types of amazing people that we are trying to see in this particular verse. One word which came here, the word Ascharya, is also used in famous Mahabharata verse. So it was when Yudhishthira, that is a Yaksha, Yaksha and its Samvad with Yudhishthira said, Yehni Bhutani Pashyati Himalayam Shesha Asthavar Achanti Kim Ascharya Ehat Param. I only remember this much, so not completely. So Yudhishthir Maharaj tells Yaksha in his question of what is the most amazing thing is every day thousands of people are dying, but still remaining people think that they'll be happy here. Like, so many, about 26, 28 people died in Pahalgam. Some people didn't die. But whose closer relatives, fathers, husbands, children, those who died, look at their situation. For them, everything was devastated. They came there for uh, spending their holiday. And this happened. One couple went there for their first honeymoon. And the lady came, become a widow. Now, and this thing happened for many people. No, but this was the one couple who was, recently married in February and they went there. So there are so many stories, but the point here I'm trying to make is that when so many people are dying, but still we think that, oh, they died, that's fine, but let me enjoy my life. Yes, somebody has a question. Who has a question? Please unmute yourself.
I think you pressed it by mistake.
Did I? No.
No?
No.
Because it's showing on, yeah, now it's gone.
Yeah. I had to forcibly bring it down. So, so now after reading this knowledge, understanding this knowledge, the most people, if asked, they admit that, yes, I'm going to die, but there is hollowness. They will accept from their heart, yes, okay, it may happen, but it is if they are talking about somebody else, or I have to die after so long in future that I don't have to bother now. Right now, I'm not dying, so let me enjoy. So people are also amazing. So now Ascharyavat as an adjective can be applied and transposed as action to so many different ways. You know, in sentences, there are three parts: subject, predicate, and predicate. There is connection verb and there is an object. So there is a predicament, there is a subject, there is an object. So that way, if we see, it's a very interesting aspect that how we construct the sentence and then we try to see that, oh, I have to die. Yes, I know that, but not dying now. It may come later somewhere in the lifetime. So let me enjoy at this point in time. Let me be with my son-in-law or mother-in-law and this law and that law. You know. But law will take its own sweet time, and you have to die. So the sole purpose of attending these classes and gaining this knowledge, elevating our own knowledge, that we should be able to understand ourselves, that what is going to happen. It does not mean that we start worrying about it from now. Why to worry? Because Krishna has already said, you are not dying, it's only the body is dying. You are going to come back again in some other body. And even if you think that the soul is also going to die, the new soul will come. For you, there will be a new soul. So again, again you are alive. So that way, Krishna has given enough understanding, the knowledge to Arjun and via Arjun to all of us. To elevate our understanding, yes, this is how it is, and we don't have to worry about, yes, we all have to die one fine day, but that doesn't mean that we start worrying about it and don't do anything. Oh, I'm going to die. What should I do now? I'm going to die. But we don't have to cry about it. Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj gives a beautiful seminar on the uh, life is a glorious journey to death. A life is a glorious journey to death. How beautiful it is, isn't it? So, by saying this and then relishing it, it's a glorious journey. So, you need to enjoy each and every moment of the life. In what way? Not by drinking alcohol and enjoying somewhere else. In Krishna consciousness, in serving Krishna, in serving our family as a devotee of Krishna. There is a different joy in all this. But we need to bring that atmosphere in the family so that it will become like that. Buy a sound box of Srila Prabhupada chanting at home. Play it continuously in the house. That is a very beautiful, pure sound vibration of his chanting, continuously running in my house every time. It is 24/7, it is running. You come to our, see our altar, you will always hear that. So that is one thing. When you do puja every day, the puja room will always smell with the beautiful incense stick. Yeah, Niranjan, the ghee and ghee wick, its smell is so beautiful. Kapoor, that gives so much beautiful, uh, atmosphere. You feel so fresh. You feel so charged in that atmosphere. So that happiness is totally different. When you go to some temples in South India, you will realize that there is so much vibration there and positive vibrations, positive vibes are there. But see, these positive vibes come only when we are trying to build that atmosphere around. So we need to build that positive atmosphere around in our house. And then we'll be able to enjoy that happiness. Okay? I think I have spoken enough on this verse. Verse 30, before we go to verse 30, is there any question, please? Okay. Dehi nityam vadhyoyam.
देहि नित्यं बध्योऽयं
Dehe sarvasva bharat.
देहि
देहि
सर्वस्य
सर्वस्य भारत
भारत
Tasmat sarvani bhutani.
तस्मात्
तस्मात् सर्वाणि
सर्वाणि भूतानि
Nattum shochitumarhasi.
न
न त्वं
त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
शोचितुमर्हसि
Dehi nityam vadhyoyam.
देहि
देहि
नित्यं
नित्यं
बध्योऽयं
Dehe sarvasya bharat.
देः सर्वस्य भारत
Tasmat sarvani bhutani.
तस्मात्
तस्मात्
सर्वाणि
सर्वाणि
भूतानि
भूतानि
Natvam shochitumarhasi.
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
शोचितुमर्हसि
Full shloka in one go. Dehi nityam vadhyoyam. Dehe sarvasya bharata. Tasmat sarvani bhutani. Natvam shochitumarhasi.
देहि नित्यं
मध्योऽयं
देहि
देहे
सर्वं भवति
सर्वस्य
तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
Anyone has any problem in pronunciation or anything? No. Okay. Word to word. Dehi, the owner of the material body.
Dehi, the owner of the material body.
देहि the owner of the material body
Nityam, eternally.
Nityam,
नित्यं
eternally.
eternally
Avadhyaya, cannot be killed.
avadhyaya cannot be killed
I am this soul.
I am the soul
Dehe, in the body.
देहि in the body
Sarvasya, of everyone.
सर्वस्य of everyone
Bharata, O descendant of Bharata.
Bharata who descended of Bharata
Tasmat, therefore.
therefore
Sharvani, all.
Sarvani all
Bhutani, living entities that are born.
Bhutan
living entities that are born.
Na, never.
Na
Never.
Tvam, you.
Tvam you
You.
Shochitum, to lament.
Sochitam, to lament.
Rahasi, deserve.
Trahasi, deserve.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you did not grieve for any living being. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you did not grieve for any living being. Rishi, do you want to read the purport?
Yes, Hare Krishna. The Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul. In describing the immortal soul in various ways, Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and his teacher, Bhishma and Drona, will die in the battle. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body. Not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord and not capriciously.
Wonderful. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So now after summary about Atma Gyan, Krishna talks about conclusion from Atma Gyan. So Dehi Nityam Avadhyo Yam. So Dehi, the person in the body, is Nitya. And that person is Avadhyo, cannot be destroyed. Ayam, this Atma is Avadhya. Avadhya. Vada means to be killed. Avadhya. Vada is destruction, killing. So Avadhya is that which is indestructible. So what is indestructible in this, Madhavi?
Soul.
Beautiful. So Dehe Sarvasya Bharata, all souls are indestructible. It is not that only some special souls are indestructible. Nowadays, people wanted to learn something, they Google on internet where anyone can put anything. Of course, if the source of knowledge is reliable, we can definitely use it. Even on the Google, we can find something very good as well. It is not that Google is bad. But if you are under the treatment of a specialist, we shouldn't be, challenging the specialist by Googling his knowledge that whatever medicines he has given for this, uh, element, is that correct? Let me go and find out. Google करके देखते हैं वो सही तो नहीं दिया, गलत तो नहीं दिया कुछ, like. But that's has become a tendency now. Yeah. So if the source of knowledge is reliable, we can definitely use that. There are several websites which tells how to determine your next incarnation. Do this and this and this and that, and it is a special book. Pay $500 and then we'll give you some more knowledge about this so that you should be able to understand how to do it. So this is basically, they are trying to sell you something by fooling around. You can see on in the Facebook as well, they will see we have got a very good medication because of which this will not happen to you anytime. And this is the recent, the tests that medical tests that we have done, which was there from the time immemorial. Doctors didn't know about it, and nobody could quite find that out. But now we are going to tell you this. And by doing this, you will do this, you will be able to do that, and all those blah, 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 they will say. And at the end, they will say, you have to click this following link, and then we will take you to that and will reveal you that knowledge. When you click on that link, it will take you to somewhere else where you take the membership, you have to pay the fee, and then they will. So it's all fooling around. There's nothing, no content in it. It's only making fool of people. So people are only, making use of your not having the right knowledge. So the reincarnation, etc., if you have the right knowledge from the Shastra, then we don't worry about it. Because we know that if we have done the good karmas in this lifetime, earlier lifetimes, we will definitely get a body wherein we should be able to again serve Krishna. In whatever state we are, we will be able to serve Krishna from where we have left. So this is the spiritual bank balance which we are building in this lifetime, probably in the early lifetimes as well. And that's where we are able to start understanding this knowledge now. And by the time we leave this body, we will have enough bank balance of spiritual bank balance by which we should be able to, start from where we have left. So we need to understand that what Krishna is telling Arjun here, that for every action that he is telling to Arjun, it is actually pointing to us as well. So the idea is there are different kinds of souls, and human souls are eternal, but animals or plant souls are not eternal. It's absolutely stupid. Animals can be eaten, so they give some idea like that, but dehe sarvasya bharata, all souls are eternal. Tasmat sarvani bhutani nattam sushitum arhasi. The whole point is, Arjun, do not lament, or do not lament for what? Do not let compassion restrict your bodily platform. And at ignorant level, don't let yourself deluded. Nattam suchitum arhasi. So Arjun, it is not worthy of you to lament. Tasmat sarvani bhutani. Do not lament for anyone, neither for your enemies nor for people on your side. So by finishing this particular part, this is the first section of Bhagavad Gita in terms of Krishna's instruction to Arjun. So Krishna from 2.11 to 2.30 that we just finished described Arjun, do not lament because all souls are destructible. And that's why what Arjun should do? He should fight. Yuddhakar. So after describing this, now Krishna takes the discussion to next level, to higher level. What is that? In this level, Krishna describes, if we know that I am not this body, I am a soul. Okay, I understand that. But now, do I act in life? Sometimes people say that this material existence is considered to be illusion. It is temporary. It is transitory. Okay, it is temporary. It is transitory. But how am I supposed to live? How do I come out of this illusion? It is not that today I hear I am not this body, I am soul, and tomorrow I stop acting on bodily platform. No, that is not correct. And then I can try to avoid acting on bodily platform, but still I have to live in the material body as long as I have this body. And only at the end I will become liberated. So how do I go about doing this? For that, one needs to work carefully, one needs to work systematically. How do we do this? One need to think how I have to raise from bodily conception to the first in that it is karma kanda, which means Arjun, you are not indestructible. Therefore, you should fight, do your duty, and attain victory. Because you are doing that on my order. Okay. There are other puja, and the pujas and in the karma kanda as well, that provides you with the material enjoyment. If you do this, you will get this. You do that, you will get that, Uh, you can do Sola Somvar and you will get this by doing so many Shukravar, you will do this, you get that. All that is fine. I mean, that's possible. You can do that, but it is for what? It is only to have the enjoyment on this bodily platform. It can't take you beyond the bodily platform. It is not for the soul, it is for the body only. But we want to go away from this bodily conception of life. That's where we are coming into understanding that how one should be coming out of the Karma Kanda section to Bhakti Kanda, where we do only Bhakti and nothing else. But it does not mean that we start disrespecting the demigods. Ganpati is there, Saraswati is there, Shiva is there. We have other demigods in our altar. We should not disrespect them. Keep them. You should, because they are at that level, because they are elevated. That's why they are in that position. And we are not. So we should not disrespect all of them. We should respect them. The whatever kind of puja you are doing it for them, keep doing them. We never say that don't do this. We should continue your puja, archa for them as well. But Krishna or Jagannath are on the top level. Then everything else will come below that. That is the difference you should know. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is on the top and all others are below. Okay. Any questions? So we are already 3:10. Well, I don't think we should be starting a new section today. We should start next week. But how many of you had read the purport of these two verses which we discussed today? No one, right? Please don't do that. Read. Unless you read it, it will be, I don't mind, explaining a lot. But if I explain more than what I'm explaining now, it will help you guys more, in expanding your understanding, extending your understanding to what you are now. Because right now, if I am only discussing the points which you have not read, because of that, I have to speak so much and give you the points by which you should be able to, understand the preliminary knowledge of the soul and how we should be coming out of this bodily conception of life and understanding ourselves that yes, we are the soul, not this body. But whether we should be living in this bodily concept or not, though we now understand that no, we are the spirit soul, not this body, it does not mean that we have to start living, start not living in the bodily conception. The body is there. We have to pass this complete lifetime until this body finishes or our work for this body is over. Then only we will go to the next. Because it is leased accommodation. So once the lease is over, then only you'll go to the new one. All right. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.